Hey, this is Ben Solomon, and welcome to this episode of the Techno Leadership Show. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about some form of productivity systems in place to keep on top of your work emails and all the system alerts and other stuff that we get in management and leadership positions to keep track of what's going on in the organization. Now, if you've been in positions like I have, where you have so many systems and then you have alerting systems and all that work with those systems to give you alerts. Normally I prefer to have a look at the dashboard, have an understanding of what's going on in different parts of the organization, different parts of our tech stack, and get the information. It's quick, visual, where there's congestion or whatever it might be, and it's done. But the thing also is to ensure that a lot of this is captured in other systems. We did have a lot of email alerts going in, which meant, all of us who were administrators of the system, so to speak, got email alerts. So in a normal day, I get hundreds of emails because to have congestion in one part of the network, and then certain switches can't be pinged, or the pings have gone up, and all of those sort of things, alerts come up. Maybe once you get to like a director level position, you may not be looking into this as much, and you probably won't even have the alerts come to you. You'll probably just look at the visuals, and that's about it, to give the rest of the organization an idea of what's going on, so to speak. But when you're in an ops management or even tech management role, you need those things to keep you going, because you have all these other things that you're doing. And in some sense, even if you do have dashboards on, that email is a secondary alert for you to go, something needs my attention. So how do you go about managing this and keeping it all going? Depending on your role, size of your team, and accountabilities that are in the team, you can set up certain rules in email service like Outlook to ensure that your most important emails are in a prominent place where you do not miss them. Things like system alerts and all that, depending on the priority of certain alerts, you can set rules to ensure that they go into certain folders, and then you can look at them at certain times of the day and see what needs your attention. And then something that's very important, obviously, you would have running on some form of a screen. So what we did in my previous role was we had 4 flat screen televisions. I believe they were 55-inch TVs from memory. We bought them fairly cheap and had them up there running off a Intel NUC. And what happened was we had various dashboards running on there, from a firewall, from a network monitoring system, help desk system, all that had all the dashboards, just data that would intimate us to if there was an issue in the organization or the network as such. And then we had alerts going into emails or help desk systems, depending on the style of alert, so that if it needs someone's intervention, then it creates a ticket in the system, and one of us would have a look at it and fix the issue. So that's how the systems were set up. But in terms of productivity, as a technology manager, I got emails from vendors that we were working with, vendors that we have worked with in the past, vendors that we were running proof of concepts, etc. with, and then we had support and other staff from all our vendors, as well as working with staff within the organization. So overall, in terms of emails, probably had 100 plus emails a day quite easily come in. Probably have to go in and see exactly how many emails. This is just direct emails, and then if you have the system alerts and everything else, that's probably another 50 to 100 or more emails. So email could have become a productivity choke, and it did to at a certain point in the organization when we moved everything, created new put in new platforms, created new systems for it and all that. And I saw all these emails come in. I'm like, okay, we need to have some form of system so that I don't miss the important things, and other things can go into certain places and I can go to them at certain times in the day. So all system alerts, help desk, service desk emails, those sort of things all went into certain folders. And within those folders, I had a thing every day, a couple of times a day. I would go in, have a look, or 3 times a day when I got in the morning to ensure that nothing important was off. Then in the middle of the day and end of the day to make sure everything was good, didn't need my attention. Obviously, the dashboards gave us information real time at the point of need, so to speak, and so I could work with my staff to ensure anything important was covered straight away. But that also meant having a cleaner inbox. I'm not this inbox zero sort of person. I've never been able to do that. Maybe, if I tried really hard, potentially could happen. But for my way of thinking, my way of operating, inbox zero did not quite work. I did try it for a period of time. But having rules that put emails into certain folders and having specific times in the day when I looked at them and actioned them helped a lot. And then having important emails flagged with reminders set for deadlines or when I should reply back or communicate to a certain person meant that they were sitting in tasks. Recently, obviously, Microsoft has synchronized this with the To-Do app, which means it's all in To-Do and you can work through them, which is fantastic. But when we were doing this, To-Do didn't even exist. And I had some form of a system with Wunderlist, and then had the task list with an Outlook to go through emails, ensuring that I communicated back with people who needed something from me. And yeah, those sort of things. So that way, having those sort of folder arrangement with specific times in the day when you look at non-critical emails, and then having your important emails go into inbox where you can deal with other, put it into a folder where you go back at a particular time of the day and reply to emails or other action that's required, flagging emails with reminders of when they need to be dealt with. These are all things that you can do to ensure that you don't miss anything, at the same time remain effective without getting overwhelmed by the email barrage that we can get hit with. So hopefully that gives you some ideas. Look, everyone's got to create their own system. You have to find out how you operate, how your brain best works, and then optimize your system based on that. I was just sharing my system so that gives you some form of an idea of if you're struggling with email overwhelm and you're missing important emails and things like that in a management or executive leadership role, then having this sort of a system where non-essential emails go into certain folders that you can check once or twice a day means that you can be more productive and get the most possible outcomes and output that you can get. So hopefully that helps you out. And if you do have any other ideas that I can also learn from, if you could leave a comment below, that would be appreciated as well. I wish you all the best in your journey as a tech professional, manager, and leader. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe to the channel so that you're notified of future episodes as they are released. If you have any questions, if you have any other suggestions of topics to be covered, please leave a comment below the video to let me know what you'd like me to cover. And I wish you all the best. And I look forward to talking to you in a future episode.